Well, well, not often we see Caius in the light of day. I was starting to wonder if you were a vampire. Do you always have to make a snarky joke? I don't know. Did you think it was punctual? At least you're talking to me. Kind of. More like you're talking and I'm unfortunately the one that has to be on the receiving end. Caius, you pronounced fortunately wrong, and is that sarcasm I detect? Well, aren't you smart? Too bad it's never when you need to be. My mom used to always say, if you can't do anything right, try going left. Yeah, that's enough talking to you for today. Fine. Fine. Okay, I guess it's as good as I was gonna be able to do with him. Well, I mean, he wasn't horrible to me, I guess. That's pretty nice. Anyways, hello and welcome back to Minecraft Ender. Now, yesterday with Nia was absolutely so much fun, and I just feel so much more refreshed, which is why I think I gave Caius over there a little bit more of a chance today. But yeah, I'm actually just really excited to see how everyone's doing. I'm really excited to, just hang out with them. So I really want to see how everyone's doing. So let's start with Chandler over here. Hey Chandler, how are you doing? It seems like you're getting your shop set up. So yeah, wow, you got a lot of stuff going on over here. Yeah. So how are you doing? Hello. I'm all right, but things are slow here. Well, I mean, what did you expect from such a small town? I guess you're right. Chandler, you aren't as talking as much as you usually do. Is everything all right? Well, you're young, so maybe you could help. I've never had a problem with how single I am. It's fine by me, or it was. When I saw those two yesterday, oh, what were their names? Oh, right, Sebastian and Penelope. It got me thinking. Not a single person knew or cared I was leaving Ulstone. I guess I realized it would be nice for someone to like me enough to be upset if I left. Well, I'm a firm believer in the idea that everyone deserves and will find love if they want it. And you will too. I mean, sure, you talk a lot, but Will over there, he told me that while you were building the town center that's what he likes about you. And you'll find someone who's like you and who loves how much you talk and matches your energy. And if you don't, then I can tell you with absolute certainty that I would be upset if you left. You would? Of course. You may be crazy, but honestly, it would be boring to not be crazy. Even I'm crazy sometimes. Sometimes? I have a feeling how crazy you're getting over the cake at the party is not abnormal. Your thing is far-fetched life stories. Mine is cake. Fight me. I see why Eric likes you. How can you have an opinion on me? We barely spoke while I was in Ulstone. And for those short conversations, you put him in his place. Knights have a tendency to get cocky in their positions. They're the leaders, and unless they're close with their guards and people, then they aren't really questioned. Eric isn't close with his underlings, nor the people he's in charge of. He's one hell of a knight, but he's as guarded as Heartshore. Wait a minute, weren't we just talking about you in love? Not me. I never said anything about you and Eric dating. Are you? No! I'm not dating anyone! What do you call whatever you're doing with Eric, then? With Anthony, then? How do you know about that? Anthony came here after you guys talked, and he wouldn't stop raving about it. I also wasn't supposed to tell you that. Wait a minute. He talked your ear off? Yep. I must have woken up in some alternate universe where your personalities were switched, and that must be why Caius was so nice to me this morning. This is crazy. I knew it was the right choice to move here. Thanks for caring, Shaina. Don't even worry about it, Chandler. Don't even. I'm gonna leave you to what you're doing. So, yeah, just have a good day. Good morning. Good morning, Will. What's up? Morning. So, how have things just been in life, Will? I don't know. We haven't, chatted in a while. The same as usual. That's it? What else would there be? You're telling me you've done nothing differently today than yesterday? I don't think so. I mean, not everything is exactly the same, but I woke up at the same time as always, had the same thing for breakfast, and all the other things I usually do. I like my routine. Remember when you felt stuck and you mentioned how I always go on those weird and crazy adventures? Yes. One of these days, I'm going to take you on one of those adventures. Oh no. Oh yes, this is happening. I don't know where, but it will be when you least expect it. I can just see it now. Shaina and Will's super awesome ultimate adventure day. What have I done? You've created a monster. That's what. Huh? Anthony? Are you okay? What's going on? I'm fine, but Penelope, she's what? She fainted. Nia brought her to Lani's. She told me to get you right away. You should go, now. Yeah, I'm going. Oh my god. What? She fainted? What the heck happened? What? She was fine when I checked on her this morning. What the heck happened? Okay. This is... I'm running as fast as I can. I can't get there any faster. I'll be there soon, Penelope. Almost there. I hate that walk. Or run or whatever. It doesn't matter. I just need to get up here. There she is. Lani! Nia! Is Penelope okay? She'll be fine. She was changing some things around in her bedroom when she passed out. Nia found her. Nia, is she okay? Penelope told me she hasn't been eating well since Sebastian left, which I've noticed a bit as well. She's been eating less? That's something you should hear from her yourself. Alright. Hey, Pen. How are you feeling? I've had better days, but Nia and Lani have been taking care of me, so I'm grateful for that. They told me you fainted because you haven't been eating well since Sebastian left. Can you tell me why? Remember when you asked me about mine and Bastian's love story? Yeah, that was a long time ago, but yeah, I remember that. I think now is as good a time as any to tell you.
Me and Sebastian both grew up in Hartshore, though on very different sides of town. My dad was a member of the King's Council, so I grew up in high society. There were always at least 3 spoons to choose from at each meal. I had expensive tutors who taught me how to play the piano forte, sing sonnets, and ballroom dances. I will never say I wasn't spoiled, and I'll never be so unaware as to say I didn't enjoy it. Sebastian grew up very differently. His father wasn't around, so his mom had to do everything. She was a seamstress, a grown one enough to be employed by my mother, as well as any other high society women, but not good enough to actually be paid what she was worth. I remember the day I first saw him. He and his mother were wearing nothing fancy, at least for my standards at the time, but since then, he has told me that big worn-out suit were the fanciest clothes he had. I was 6 at the time, so he was about 8. My mother had employed his to make me my first ball gown. His mother could barely afford putting food on the table, much less schooling for Sebastian, so he tagged along with her. I remember my parents being very rude to her for that, threatened her and told her to keep her away from me. I won't lie and say I stood up to them, because I didn't. I thought it was weird he wasn't in tailored clothing, weird that he had a little spot of dirt on his cheek, weird that he just sat in the corner and tweedled his thumbs the whole time. That's how it was every time his mother made me a dress for years, until his mother grew ill when I was about 13. He came to our manor and begged my parents for money, and they refused. As they reprimanded him, I ran up to my room and fetched the purse I hid under my bed. I never snuck out before, I never defied my parents, but that night was full of a lot of firsts. So I used my sheets to make a rope so I could climb from my bedroom window to the ground. I followed him home. I had heard him crying, but I kept myself hidden. I followed him through town to a part of it I'd never been. It was run down, dirty, and there were beggars on every corner. I pulled my hood low, and I know it sounds selfish and spoiled, but they scared me. I felt like I was better than them, when in reality, a lot of them had more than I ever had, things money couldn't buy. I waited for him to enter his house. A few moments later, I knocked on the door. He was shocked to see me and pulled me into his house quickly. He yelled, "What in the hells are you doing here? Do you know where we are right now? You can't fight. Someone could have hurt you, or worse." I didn't know what he meant by worse. I didn't even know what to say, so I pulled out my purse and handed it to him. He looked at me like I was crazy. "What's the catch?" he asked. I hadn't thought about that, and honestly, I didn't want to give one. But then I came up with something. I asked him to teach me to fight. Even if he said no, I still would have given him the money, but he agreed. That night, we went out and hired the best physician we could. Then he walked me home and helped me back into my room. I didn't get caught. His mom got better. And over the next 4 years, I would sneak out to meet him near the river so he could teach me to fight. He was working himself at this point, so I stopped seeing him at my house. Sometimes we wouldn't even train. We'd just sit there and share a loaf of bread. On my 18th birthday, my parents told me I was to be married off to one of their wealthy friends' sons. My first thought when they told me that was Sebastian. I told them I didn't want to be married, but they didn't care. We weren't supposed to meet that night, but I snuck out to see Sebastian anyways. At that point, he was on his own, though I gave him money whenever his mom grew ill. It wasn't enough, and she passed away a few months before. I ran to his house with tears in my eyes. I begged him to let me stay the night, and he did, even though I knew I'd get caught for it. We talked and talked and talked, and he made me one of his mother's recipes. And I realized why he'd been my first thought when I found out I'd be married. Why I was so terrified of getting married. It was because I wanted to marry him. I was in love with Sebastian. And when I told him that, he kissed me. It might sound way too fast, but I'd known him for so long. I knew everything about him. To us, this was a long time coming, but my parents didn't think so. They gave me an ultimatum: marry the boy my parents had chosen and live in luxury for the rest of my life, or be exiled from the family, banished from Heartshore. I realized something at that moment. Money didn't make my parents happy. It didn't even make them love each other. There was more and more money every day, but no one was ever content with the amount they had. Everyone always wanted more, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. Not until it becomes more important than the people you're supposed to love, like your children. So me and Sebastian left Heartshore that night. We wandered from place to place for a while until we ended up here. Caius was the one who officially married us. It was never easy for us, even after we left. It was hard for me to get used to a life where everything wasn't in the palm of my hands, but we overcame it together, and here we are.
Wow, Penelope, that story is just so beautiful. You two were just made for each other, weren't you? She smiles. We were. I don't want to ruin this moment, but I have to ask, What does this have to do with you fainting? It has everything to do with it, because I'm pregnant. You're what? I'm pregnant. I haven't been eating much because it makes me feel sick, and I throw up every morning. I put all the signs together this morning the morning after Bastion left. I wish I had found out sooner. Honestly, I'm really excited. I've always wanted to be a mom, and I just know that Sebastian is going to be the most amazing dad. Yeah, I am sure he will be. Shaina, are you alright? You look like you're about to cry. No. I'm just super excited for you guys, and I'm sure Sebastian will be just as ecstatic. He will. I can't wait to write to him. I only hope he won't race back here before his initiation is over. I know how important it is to him. I think you should get some rest now, Penelope. You look just super tired. I am. I think I want to sleep for now. Thank you so much, Shaina. For what? Everything. You're welcome. I'm gonna leave you be, and I'll leave Nia and Lonnie to take care of you. You just get some well-deserved rest. You're growing a baby in you, and especially so you definitely need that rest. I know that Sebastian and Penelope are they're gonna be the most amazing parents, and I'm super, super excited for them. I mean, they're gonna be great, but they're gonna be fantastic parents, and I can't help it gets me thinking about just my own parents, and the idea of Sebastian being a dad, it gets me thinking about just my own, and a part of me really wishes I hadn't heard that story, because now I actually have to think about my own dad.